Hi everyone, and welcome to Achieve with Carolina Live. I'm Carolina Romaniuk, child and family sleep specialist and founder of Achieve with Carolina. And tonight is all about you. So Mother's Day is coming up, and I was wondering, what kind of questions, hey Angelica, can I start answering? And who better to do that than you guys, to ask me any question that you want. I want to help you in what specifically you have concerns in. So if you know of anyone that is struggling with sleep right now with their little one, make sure to highlight their name and let them know that it's their time to ask any type of question that they have regarding their baby's sleep. Or if you want to vent, you could do that too. So I'm doing this to honor Mother's Day coming up, and I really want to just answer any questions that you have as opposed to me coming up with the topic. So I'm all ready for you guys. I got my water, my mint water here. I got a brand new candle. So this one, you can't read this, but it smells divine. It's called Midnight Woods by Sensational. And I got pretty little flower. Hey Megan, thanks for joining. So if you're just signing on, tonight is all about you mamas, and if you have any specific questions, just type them in the comments below. I don't really have any specific topic for tonight. I really wanted just to give the floor or Facebook to you guys, and just let me know what questions do you have. Hey Anna, so let me know if you also have any friends that are currently expecting or that just gave birth and they have any pressing questions. Make sure to tag them on this video. You can just put their name right in the comments and have them join. Share this video also right now while I'm doing the live call, so then we can get more people on too. While I'm waiting, while we're getting a couple more people on, I'm going to turn on some lovely music so you don't just hear me talk. But let me know, guys, what questions do you have? You must have so many questions. Hey Doris, thanks for sharing and for putting up your friend Oksana, so I hope she joins. And if anyone else wants to put their friend's name down, relatives, co-workers, anyone, let me know. Okay, let me just turn this on and then we'll get started while you guys are putting in questions. So let's see, what kind of music do you want to hear today? What am I in the mood for? Let's see. Let's see what pops up. Okay, so everyone that's signing on right now, I'm leaving the questions up to you guys. So ask away. This is your half hour. Let's see what I can put on here. Okay, I like this. So let me take a sip of water because I'm seeing we're getting questions on. Let's get this rolling. Okay, so let's see who has questions. Olga. So your daughter stopped sleeping throughout the night after vacation. She wakes up many times at night. She is 23 months old, has started waking up at night, has always been a good through the night sleeper, and now we are battling bedtime and 2 to 3 night wakings per hour. Any advice to help to tell? Okay, so Olga, what you would want to do is, usually what happens after vacation, kids, let me just kind of move this so it's not glaring. What happens after vacation, kids kind of get thrown off of their sleep schedule, so to speak, right? So you kind of need to get that back from what was lost when they were, you know, on vacation. Most likely their sleep probably went a little later than expected. You know, dinners, you're outside, so they're sleeping a little bit differently than they would at home. So what I would do is for a couple of nights, just to bump up bedtime, make it a little earlier so you can try and balance out the sleep. And that is one reason for night wakings. Is actually, there are several reasons, but the two main ones that you would want to look into is, one, how are their naps? Have they changed? Has anything kind of went minor? Or have the naps kind of just went out of their realm and they're, you know, not on their proper schedule? And then two, how late is bedtime? So what I would do is I would bump up bedtime a little bit and then see how that helps with the nighttime wakings. If you're still experiencing nighttime wakings, what I want you to do then is to contact me, schedule a free sleep strategy session with me, and then we can kind of talk a little bit more into depth in what is going on and what really happened during your transition time from when you were on vacation and when you came home, because there must have been something that changed around that time frame. But more or less, it's just by increasing bedtime a little bit earlier can really help you with minimizing the night wakings. Okay, so try that out, Olga, and then let me know how that has helped you. Ah, Doris, thank you. I try. Okay, so Alexa, what is the appropriate wake time for a 20-month-old? One nap after a wake up. Okay, so what is the appropriate wake time for a 20-month-old? Wake up time for after a nap wake up. So I don't go by awake times. I use those for infants, but for children that are past 6 months of age, I go by biological times. And what that means is that there's certain times in the day where your body produces a higher elevation of melatonin. Oh my God, you hear the sirens going on right now, and then you hear my classical music, New York sound. Oh, hold on, I just want to put my hands in my ears. Okay, so Alexa, what I would want to know is, when is your little one's nap? And making sure that they are getting a nice balanced nap, as well as their nighttime has to be balanced with it too. So let me know in the comments a little more into detail, because there's more into that I need to know to properly answer your question. Okay, Olga. So I see that we're getting a lot more people on. Again, I am leaving the floor up to you guys. It's your time to ask me any type of question that you have, because Mother's Day is coming up and I really didn't want to just come up with random topics. I wanted to answer something that is really concerning you at this point in time. So just type in your comments below, or if you know someone that is having problems with their sleep, make sure to highlight their name here so then they could come on to the thread too. So Olga, you also said if it's better to PM you. Yeah, you can PM me too if that's easier for you. All open lines for communication. Okay, you can go ahead and PM me also. Anna, so Nathan is 10 months now. Nathan is 10 months now, and it's been taking longer for us to put him to bed lately. Is that usual around this time period? Yes, you have to start switching his schedule. So some kids around that time, they start to push. Their schedule starts to shift a little. So if it's taking him a lot longer, I would want to see what kind of a routine you have. You might need to just change it a little, not make it so long. If it is short already, then I would want to see what times your little one is going to sleep, and keep a sleep diary for yourself. So if he's going to sleep at the same time every night and it is later, but it's at a decent hour for his age, it's age appropriate, then you can go with that time frame, as long as it's not too late. Just make sure that you keep a sleep diary for yourself, and you can push the bedtime a little bit later. If you start to notice night wakings, and he doesn't have any right now, but if you start to notice that he has night wakings, then you got to bump up that bedtime earlier to compensate for the loss of sleep. Okay? So that's one way that you know if you're having night wakings, that you push bedtime way too late. Okay, let's see. My pleasure, Olga. Okay, Alexa, you said 12:30 is the nap time. Okay, so for one nap, 12:30, usually the cutoff is around 4, 5-ish for the cutoff of the nap. You know, again, it depends on what time they fell asleep. It depends on how long it took them to fall asleep. So making sure that bedtime is anywhere between 7 and 8 is a pretty decent bedtime for a 20-month-old, then you're good to go. You said her nap is 12:30. She naps anywhere from between, yeah, so then that's totally fine. 2 to 3 hours, you're right on it's perfection. If your little one is having night wakings, then I would want to look into it. But since your question was just regarding towards you know, the awake window of it, so then that's fine. It's actually perfect, the nap that you have. Okay, Alexa, you're saying waking up early. So then if she's waking up early, then that means that bedtime is way, way too late. So I would want to focus on adjusting her bedtime and see how that would work with eliminating the early rise. Hey Gilana, let me know, Alexa, how that works out for you, and if she's still having early wakings, then I would really need to dive in deeper, and then I want you to either PM me or email me, just contact me in any way, so we can kind of dive in a little deeper and get you your answers for that. Let me make this a little lower. If the music is annoying you guys, let me know. I kind of like it. I think it's very relaxing. So, Deborah, hold on. Okay, let me open this up. Wow, this is a big one, Deb. Okay, so Leo is 7.5 months and has been waking up around 5:30, 5:45 most mornings for the last 2 weeks. He goes to bed between 6:15, 6:45, and our desired wake time is 6:30, which he used to do consistently. I know naps can be a culprit, and he usually takes a 45-minute morning nap, and then anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half midday. He'll take a third rescue nap if the second nap was too short. Okay, I'd love to extend his naps, but not sure how, as he's in daycare. Any tips on naps and daycare babies? Okay, so first off, with daycare babies, you need to make sure that you have their sleep diary. So find out when they are napping, how long they're napping, and be really adamant about it, because some daycares, they just want to kind of brush off parents, and they tell them, yeah, your kid was sleeping beautifully, you know, 3 hours, and then you take them home and then they just fall asleep in the car, and you know, okay, my kid could not have slept that well if he's passing out while we're driving 15 minutes home. So there's something that's kind of going on that. Then I would really want you just to kind of ask again the daycare, you know, I see that he's really, really exhausted when we come home. I don't think that he's getting the proper nap time. So if that is the case, and let's say they don't respond to you or whatever, let's say the case is that they do fall asleep on the way home, or if they are tired, then you will just bump up bedtime earlier to compensate for that. You'll know when you're coming home from daycare and what they tell you if your little one has been taking proper naps. So on that part, daycare babies are, you know, that's good. If they are not taking naps during daycare, you bump up bedtime heavily, and you also give them the proper naps during the weekends. So no loosey-goosey, no going out and about on weekends when it's nap time. If your little one is, let's say for an example, getting night wakings. But you wrote that waking up around 5:30 and 5:45, and he goes to bed between, and he's 7.5, so he goes to bed between, okay, so at 7.5 months, he's in between right now, going from 2 to 3 naps. So you can start going through that transition period, and you will have one day that he'll want to skip the 3rd nap, and one day that he won't. But if he's taking all 3 naps beautifully, then that's great. If he's skipping the 1st or the 2nd nap, that's not good. And obviously you know that. So we would want to then make sure, I wouldn't want you to give him a 3rd nap. I would want you then to just bump up bedtime really early, as 4:30 or even 5 o'clock, as early as that, to compensate for the loss of sleep. The reason why I'm saying this is because by 8 months, since he's right towards that time frame, a child should already not be taking more than 2 naps, because then that's one reason and why he's having the 5:30 a.m. waking, is because he will be getting too much sleep, right? Like way too much. It's not balanced anymore. So if he's not taking, he's taking a nap 1, he's not taking a nap 2, but he's taking a nap 3, that's not helping you anymore. You got to get rid of that 3rd nap to make sure that nap 1 and nap 2 are really good, making sure the times are proper for his age, and you are bumping up bedtime early to compensate for that transition period right now. If what I just told you, Deb, confuses the heck out of you, I want you to schedule a free sleep strategy session with me. I put my calendar right above on top, and just schedule with me something so I can kind of go a little more into depth with it. I hope what I told you makes sense, and you can use some of the tips that I just mentioned to you. If what I told you doesn't, and it just confused you even more, I would love to explain it to you a little more into detail. So just make an appointment with me, and then we can go dive deeper into it. Hey Maria and Yana, Javi. Ooh, we're getting so many people on. Yay! Okay, so Yana says, hold on, let me open this up. You're almost 8-month-old sleeps well at night from 8 to 9 to 7 a.m. Nice. However, naps are difficult. The longest nap is in the morning at 10 a.m. for around 2 hours, and then after she may not sleep till bedtime. Wow. I tried holding out till later time for the first nap, but that leads to cat naps and a couple of hours throughout the day. I'm afraid she will drop naps altogether like her brother did at 18 months. What do you suggest? Yes, it sounds like that's going to be a possibility if you don't give her the naps, and you're going to be having a really cranky baby for a long period of time. First things first, Yana, is how is your little one's environment? Where is she falling asleep? Is it dark in the room? Do you have a white noise machine? Remember how I always stress all the time, darkness is your savior, light is your enemy when you're trying to sleep. So how is your little one's environment? Where is she sleeping? The other factor is the schedule. Understanding that we want to put down our little ones when our body produces the highest elevation of melatonin during the day. So what's happening is that morning naps are usually the easiest because it's a continuation of nighttime sleep, okay? So that is one reason and why she's most likely taking that longer stretch period during the morning. But if she's skipping out her second nap and then bedtime is super late, what's going to happen is over a period of time, her adrenaline is going to kick in, and you're just going to have lots of temper tantrums, and you don't want that to happen. So what I would do is, one, check the environment and how her sleeping environment is, making sure it's healthy and it's conducive to sleep. The other factor is her schedule of her sleep. So we would really need to maximize on the capacity of that and make sure that it's at its highest elevation when we're placing her down and creating that sleep schedule for her. And third is, after you do those two pieces, last thing is, if need be, you might have to cap off the first nap to lengthen out her second nap. So that's like your last resort. I don't want you screwing around with capping naps or playing around with that, because that's really like your last part to even try and do that after you've exhausted all of your other options. The reason for that is because if you start capping off the first nap and the second nap is still not forming, then you're just jeopardizing the first nap ability of the mental restoration, and you're not giving the proper build up for the second nap. So that's why last resort is we would do a capping. So schedule something with me if you want to work a little deeper into this, and then we'll put a really nice schedule together for you that can lengthen out the naps for your little one. Okay, let's see who else. Oh, my pleasure, Deborah. Yeah, please reach out. I want to really talk to you so we can get this ball really rolling and getting your little one sleeping. I don't want you to have that, oh, let's play hot potato and try and figure this out kind of a thing. So try the tips that I mentioned to you, and schedule something with me so at least you can tell me how it's working out, okay? Hey, Ala. Let's see. Yana, you're saying she sleeps only in the crib with blinds down. What does blinds mean? Does it mean that they are like lights seep through? Like, how dark is it in the room? Blinds mean nothing to me. It means nothing whatsoever. You need to have blackout curtains. Naps are super duper important. The first nap for little ones is mental restoration. Second nap is physical restoration. If you don't have the proper sleep environment put in place, blinds don't count. They have to be blackout curtains. You have to block out light entering into the room. If you don't have that, then you are not having the ability to actually maximize on sleep. That's most likely why your son was also having trouble having his naps lengthen out, and that's why he dropped them at such a young age. So I would really want you to look into blackout curtains if you don't have them. Now, if you mean by blinds as they are blackout curtains, so from a schedule of 1 to 10, 10 being the darkest, it's at least an 8 during the day, then that's okay. And then I would want to look into, okay, so the next step would be the schedule. What's going on with the schedule? But if you don't have the blackout curtains, or it's lighter than an 8, like if it's like a 4 or a 5, then you're not really maximizing on anything at that part. So you're really working against the body's natural rhythms to try and fall asleep. We want to enhance the environment. We want to enhance how our body naturally produces melatonin, which is your sleep hormone, and doing that is by the easiest way is your environment, making sure that it's nice and dark. Also cool between 68 to 72 degrees, and white noise really does help, but the easiest thing that you can do is really make sure that it's nice and dark, plus the schedule. Okay, next, Miriam. Hey Carolina, hi. Hi to me. My little one is 1 week short of 5 months. Aw, he has been sleeping through the night since 8 weeks, occasionally wakes up for his pacifier and then goes back to sleep with no problem. This past week, however, he has been crying 45 minutes of the initial sleep and for over 2 hours. Wow, and multiple wakings throughout the night. Any advice? Not sure what's going on. Okay. So your little one now is almost 5 months. Congratulations. And that means that his patterns are becoming more adult-like in his sleep, and that they are organized. So what's going on is his sleep is completely changing, right? So we know the whole marketing concept and how pretty that they keep talking about the 4-month sleep regression. So for kids, it can actually go from anywhere 4 to 5.5 months, this regression period. And that's most likely what's kind of going on with you right now. So I would want you to keep a sleep diary for yourself. Start jotting down when his sleep cues are. and when he starts getting tired, because his schedule is going to start shifting drastically from 4 to 6 months of age. And making sure that you're placing him down when he's tired, not overtired, is really important. So keep a diary for yourself. Start tracking patterns that you notice. When he gets tired, start writing, what time it is, what his cues are. Does he wiggle his nose when he gets tired? Does he pull on his ear when he gets tired? What happens when that time frame, when you see it's 12 o'clock and nap time should start occurring? So that should help you significantly with that part in keeping a diary and checking the patterns. And if you want, I would love for you to schedule something with me too, just to talk a little more into depth on this. But at least you have a starting point right now in keeping a diary and just checking yourself in how well he's progressing and any type of patterns that are starting to form for the sleep. Cool? Okay, let's see who's next. What time is it? Okay, cool. Got a couple of more minutes, a few more questions, and then I'm going to sleep. Okay, Ala. Your twins go to sleep at 8:30 and wake at 7 to 8. What should be their first, second, and third nap should be? Ala, I don't think you told me. How old are your boys? Your twins? How old are they? Oh, you wrote it below. Aw, you're so sweet. They're 5.5 months old. Okay, so this is tricky. There's no set schedule for between 4 to 6 months. They shift on their awake time period. So really the best thing that you can do is, like I was mentioning to Miriam, is keeping a sleep diary for yourself, keeping track of when they are tired and placing them down at those times. So they should be on a 3-nap schedule right now, and I'm pretty sure you're doing something really good. You said they go to sleep at 8:30 and wake at 7 to 8. So if they don't have any night wakings, that's awesome. So I would just continue on doing with whatever you're doing, because it looks like it's working out for you, and I wouldn't really change on anything. But during that time frame, it's really tricky because they're still having their patterns organized. And there's no set, schedule on that part. It does get a little more standard when they are 6 months plus to go that route. So for now, you're pretty good. And once they turn 6 months, then you'll contact me and then we'll kind of go a little deeper into it. Hey, Liana. Okay. Hey, Luba. Celia. Patricia, hey guys, hey my peeps. Okay, Ala says, also my twins awake very often during the night. My boy wakes up at 3 for a feeding and I just don't give it to him. I rock him and that's it. Okay, so Ala, I would encourage you to feed your little one. It's totally normal for them to eat up until 9 months of age, and you can have scheduled feedings. I wouldn't, unless your pediatrician gives you the green light to let go of feeds, then that's fine. But I wouldn't necessarily rock him, because that can create an association, and that's why he's frequently waking up, because he's genuinely hungry. So I would focus on giving him at least 2 feeds at night, give him a quick feed, put him back down, and then work on that later. Because you can do as much rocking as you want, and if he's genuinely hungry, which most likely he is at that age, then you can just, no matter how many times that he wakes up, you'll just continue on, doing some sort of a motion or rocking him or anything else like that. But I just suggest for you to feed him and then just put him straight back to bed, and then that's it. The schedule wise looks pretty good, so I don't have anything to go further into depth on that part. you said that you did feed and then he got worse, and my pediatrician said not to feed. Okay. And now I dropped his full feed bottle. I give him 2 ounces and he is fine for the rest of the night. Okay, so then that's fine. I would then decrease the feeds if your pediatrician says to go. Green light on that, and that it gets worse when you feed him at night. So then I would just start decreasing and then completely eliminate them. I wouldn't necessarily rock him to sleep up until he's 6 months, because then everything kind of sinks, and then he knows when he cries at night and he can't put himself back to sleep that mommy's gonna come in and then rock me straight to bed. So what he's going to expect when he wakes up, if he's not in your arms, that's what he's going to want to get back into the sleeping format, is to be rocked. You said you stopped rocking as of this week. Okay, cool. So sounds as though everything's going great for you. You stopped the rocking, you're stopping the feeding, the schedule is good. So that's it. Pat yourself on the back. Doing awesome. Let's see. Stephanie, I don't want to miss your question. So is there an optimal time to put your baby down to sleep? I read that the sweet spot is between 7 and 8. Is there truth to this? It depends on the child's age, and bedtime should always be adjustable. There's no, let's kind of clear the air right now, because there are like a lot of people signing on. Bedtime has to be flexible. Naps should be consistent. Bedtime has to be flexible. Thanks guys for the love. Oh, that means so much. Bedtime has to be flexible because it depends on how the naps went, right? So if your little one is skipping naps, or the naps are short, then what you're going to do is you have to bump up bedtime to compensate for the loss of sleep. So if your little one is taking the proper naps at their age, at the age appropriateness, and they're nice and long, they're at least an hour each, then you can have your ideal bedtime, which usually is anywhere between 5:45 and 8. Yes, it's a huge gap, but it depends on the age of the child. Yes, bedtime can be at 5:45 and sleep through the whole night. I've had that happen. And bedtime can be at 6, bedtime can be at 7. Ideally, between 7 and 8 is usually around, like closer towards 18 months for some kids, older to that. So that's usually what it entails. But don't be afraid of having an early bedtime. It doesn't mean that, oh my God, if I put my kid to sleep at 6, they're gonna wake up at 4, they're gonna wake up at 3. No, it doesn't work that way. If you have the proper sleep environment put into place, and you have the proper naps that are going into place, but if, let's say, one day gets bumped off and one of the naps is like shorter than an hour, and you have the 2 naps, then you would bump up bedtime to compensate for that. So let's see who else. Okay, so that's it, guys. No more questions? We're done for tonight? Let me see, make sure I got everyone. Okay, cool. So we got 2 more videos. Hold on, I'm seeing someone else is posting something. My neighbor. Okay, I'll come by later. Okay, Ala. Yeah, PM me if you have more questions. So that's it for tonight, guys. Sweet dreams. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. And have a good night. Hope you guys are gonna have a wonderful Mother's Day, and you're gonna do something that you want to do, and hopefully not cook dinner. Love you. Sweet dreams. Bye, everyone.